Today we're talking about matrix multiplication, so let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to set up these matrices corner to corner. We put the first matrix in the lower left and the second matrix in the upper right. Our answer matrix is going to go down between them. So the first thing we do is we multiply the first thing in the first column, in the first row, by the first thing in this first column on the other one. So 1 times 0 and 2 times -1. See how those go right into each other. So we have -2 because 1 times 0 is 0 and 2 times -1 is -2. So if we add those together, we get -2. Let's get the second one. 1 times 1 is 1 and 2 times 3 is 6. We add those together, we get 7. The third one, we're going to use the second row and the first column. 3 times 0 is 0. 4 times -1 is -4. Add those together, we get -4. And then the last one, 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Add those together, and we get 15. And we've got our answer matrix. -2, 7, -4, 15. Perfect. So we just multiplied two matrices, a 2 by 2 matrix and another 2 by 2 matrix, and we got an answer that was a 2 by 2 matrix, which is great. So if we multiply a 2 by 2, we multiply by a 2 by 2, we know we're going to get a 2 by 2 matrix. But what if we have matrices that aren't the exact same size? What about these two? Are we going to be able to multiply these together? Well, let's go ahead and try it. Remember, we're putting the second one. We have a 3 by 2 and a 2 by 3. Remember, we're putting the second one up in the corner. And we're putting the first one in the lower left-hand corner. Making them the right size, we've got a 1, 0, 5, 7, 0, 2, and then 2, 0, -1, 4, 6, 2, 0, 5. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. First, we're going to do the first row on the first one and the first column on the second one to get the first element of our answer. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 0 times 6 is 0. Oh, that was wrong. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 0 times 6 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. There we go. Let's get the next one. Well, I need the first row of the first matrix, the second column of the second matrix. 1 times 0 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Add them together, we get 0. Now we're going to multiply the first row of the first matrix by the third column of the second matrix. 1 times -1 is -1. 0 times 0 is 0. -1 is our answer. So we're adding those together. Go ahead and fill in that last one. 1 times 4 plus 0 times 5. We just get 4. Now let's do the next one. 2 times 5 is 10. 6 times 7 is 42. So we've got 52. 5 times 0 is 0. 7 times 2 is 14. We've got 14. 5 times -1 is -5 plus 0. 5 times 4 is 20. 7 times 5 is 35. So we got 55. 0 times 2 is 2. 0. 2 times 6 is 12. Then we've got 0 times 0 plus 2 times 2. We got 4. 0 times -1 plus 2 times 0. That's just 0. And 0 times 4 plus 2 times 5 is 10. So if we take a 3 by 2, we multiply it by a 2 by 4, we get a 3 by 4 matrix. And here's our answer. We've got 2, 0, -1, 4, 52, 14, -5, 55, and 12, 4, 0, 10. So we can multiply a 3 by 2 by a 2 by 4. Does that mean we can just multiply anything? Surely we can multiply these. These are the same size. We've got a 2 by 3 matrix and another 2 by 3 matrix. We can multiply these, right? Well, let's go ahead and try it. Gonna set them up. Second one in the top left. First one in the top right, and the second one in the lower left. We got 1, 2, 5, 8, 11, 0. And -3, 6, -5. and 1, 0, 5. Now, of course, we're going to multiply the first row of the first matrix by the first column of the second matrix. So we've got 1 times negative 3 plus 2 times 1, and then plus 5 times, wait a second, what are we going to multiply 5 by? We want to multiply 1 times negative 3, 2 times 1, and 5 times what? We don't have anything to multiply 5 by, which tells us that this doesn't work. We actually can't multiply these matrices, which seems weird because they're actually the same size. We think we'd get a 2 by 3 matrix, but we do not. So let's see if we can find a pattern here. This one, notice that the 2's are the same. The number of columns on that second one, the number of rows on the second one, those are the same. On this one, we've got the number of columns on the first one, the number of rows on the second one. These ones, they don't match. Those two middle numbers here don't match, so it doesn't work. The two numbers in the middle have to match. So the rule, the number of columns of the first matrix must equal the number of rows of the second matrix. In order for matrix multiplication to work, that has to be true. So let's say we have an A 3 by 6, a 3 by 6 matrix, 3 rows, 6 columns. The second matrix has 6 rows and 7 columns. This would be huge, so hopefully you don't end up having to multiply some like this. But if you do, it will work because those two middle numbers match, and your answer will end up being a 3 by 7 matrix. Good luck on your matrix multiplication.